Our Arctic fox lives in the northern waste on the rocky coast. The environment is barren and bitterly cold. Because of this, plants are scarce and nutrients are low. The fox is a tertiary consumer and predator. Their predators are polar bears and Arctic wolves. The foxes hunt fish, rodents, and small birds. These physical and behavioral traits have aided these foxes greatly in their survival along the rocky coast of the northern waste.
The first physical trait of our Arctic fox is its webbed feet. There are many advantages to having webbed feet, such as being able to get away from predators more easily in the northern waste. The webbed feet would allow them to swim faster and go deeper into the water to escape any predators in this habitat. It would also allow them to swim faster to catch their fish, which is a main source of food for them. In addition, their webbed feet would act as a snowshoe as the northern waste is full of snow and ice. They would be able to get better footage on areas that are harder to get to. Although the webbed feet is a major advantage to our Arctic fox, there is a disadvantage, which would be the webbed feet causing the fox to be slower on land as there is more tissue weighing it down. This can cause our fox to get eaten by predators more often and easier. This trait would definitely allow our Arctic fox to persist in the next generation because it helps the animal to survive by getting food easier and escaping from predators. These advantages will keep them alive longer than if they did not have the webbed feet.
This Arctic fox has another unique trait, a more muscular paddle tail shaped like that of a river otter. This tail is especially helpful along the northern waste Arctic coast, helping the fox swim faster with its thicker appendage, increasing the safety of the fox from potential predatory threats. It also functions as a fat reserve, acting as food storage that will help keep the fox nourished in its cold, frigid environment. Unfortunately, this tail makes the fox less aerodynamic on land, making it harder for him to change directions while running. The increased survival due to their more aquatic nature would allow these foxes to reproduce, creating the entire population of these semi-aquatic foxes found in the northern waste.
A first behavioral trait of our Arctic fox is their ability of swimming to avoid predators and catch prey. The Arctic foxes uses this adaptation to their advantage by using the water to flee from some predators. This allows them to stay alive. Catching prey is also useful to keep them healthy and with as much energy as they need to survive. A disadvantage that comes with this trait is because most of their prey lives on land. If they do spend a lot of the time in the water, then they may run out of food after a while. They will eventually have to resort back to land and find more food. This behavioral trait is more likely to persist in the next generations because swimming to avoid predators will give them an advantage, help them keep themselves alive, and be able to reproduce.
The second behavioral trait that we would think would be beneficial for Arctic foxes includes the ability to communicate with other Arctic foxes by slapping their tail on the water. There are some big advantages to this, one being that since Arctic foxes often form groups to scavenge for food, being able to communicate with their tails helps them hunt more efficiently and inform each other of any potential threat. It could also be a behavior that attracts mates and ultimately increases their reproduction, allowing them to better pass on these new behavioral traits to their offspring. Though there are some great advantages to this trait, there are a couple disadvantages that come with it as well. Communicating by slapping their tails against the water may alert predators of the fox's whereabouts, if those predators are close enough to hear it. The vibrations that the tails generate in the water may also scare away prey, such as fish. And finally, this trait would persist to the next generation for a couple reasons. As the foxes begin to realize the potential for communicating by slapping their tails to warn each other of potential dangers, such as polar bears, the learned trait would become a habit among the population of Arctic foxes. It would likely help them better survive, giving them a greater chance to reproduce and pass this trait to their offspring.
Goodbye.
Bye!
Thanks for watching.
Goodbye.
Peace out.